Hi, so today's video is about an article that's appeared on the BBC News webpage. It's called Why Short-Sightedness is on the Rise. It's on the homepage, and if you scroll right down practically to the bottom, it's about there. And it's basically asking if I can, soaring rates of short-sightedness in children are alarming parents and doctors around the world. Can we turn the tide? Now, a lot of what's in this is a lot of what people have been saying for years. I've said it in several videos. In fact, I'll post one of those videos up as an end page. Otis Brown has said it. Hello, Otis. The end myopia movement, they've all said it. So it's basically been an open secret for many years, and it was first, this was first noticed in Inuit children once, or was it Eskimo children? I can't quite remember, but once they started going to school, they started needing glasses because reading was causing short-sightedness. So anyway, there are plenty of videos about that. I'm just going to talk about what this article says. So this really began, according to the article, in the late 1980s and 90s, that parents in Singapore started noticing that their children were getting short-sightedness. And today Singapore has a myopia rate of about 80% in young adults, and has been called the myopia capital of the world. And that's come up a few times. So it's not news, but it's a phenomenon that's been noticed also in other Asian countries, have higher instances of myopia. And in, I think it's South Korea, new recruits to the army, they've had to lower the bar for who can come into the army, because so many young people are short-sighted that they basically wouldn't have enough people in the army if you prohibited all the people who actually needed glasses, because it's just so many people now. So what they said at the time was basically that it's caused by lack of sunlight, children spending too much indoor time. And there actually is something in that, for sure. And what it says is that 40% of adults in the UK, in the US, are short-sighted now, and similarly in the UK. But yeah, in South Korea, Taiwan and mainland China. So it was one of those three countries. I don't think it was China, it was either South Korea, I'm pretty sure it was South Korea, where they had to readjust entry rates for the army. But the prevalence rates there are between 84 and 97% of all of the young population now are short-sighted. That is huge. So let's scroll down. Now, what they are saying is that, you know, being short-sighted might not seem like a problem because you can put glasses on it, but it can actually lead to other problems. So if the earlier a child develops myopia, the more likely they are to have severe myopia in adulthood. That can threaten your eyesight by causing problems like glaucoma, retinal detachment, cataracts, and myopic maculopathy. I don't know what that is. So now that they're actually saying genetics play only a small part, because remember there's been much criticism on the myopia boards and so on that opticians, you know, are very fond of saying, well, it's in the family, it's genetic. No, don't be silly, reading hasn't caused it, screen time has nothing to do with it, yada yada yada. So yeah, so now they're actually admitting no, it's not actually genetic. A purely genetic case of myopia is rare, says Nima Gorbani Mujarrad. I hope I've said that right. So she's a lecturer at the University of Bradford. She's an optometrist. Now, here we are. We're at it. Instead, lifestyle factors are thought to be more significant. A lack of time outdoors, focusing on close objects for an extended period through an activity like reading. So yeah, sorry all those opticians who said no, reading isn't a problem. It's exactly a problem. And it also mentions, yeah, okay, reading doesn't help your eyes, but it's more helpful to get education. So there is a case here, we need to strike a balance. You know, you don't want children getting myopia when they, you know, shouldn't need to have it, but you do want people to be, you know, you don't want to deprive people of an education either. So, and obviously because more people, you know, education is more widely available to more people, that's why suddenly you're getting much more myopia. Now then, and I mean, it says here that the way children obtain an education in the modern world, with the emphasis on long hours spent in classroom, appears to be consistently hurting their eye health. And that's the first time I've actually seen that officially in print. And it's not even saying it seems to be making them short-sighted, hurting their eye health. So it's not just to do with long-sighted, short-sighted. They're talking about it in a more holistic sense, your eye health, because as they just said, severe myopia can cause other eye health problems. And this lady, the lecturer Gorbani Mujarrad, says education has been shown to cause short-sightedness, referring to education as measured by school years. Okay, She actually says we don't know what it is about education. Well, going abroad and speaking a foreign language, or going to gym at school, that's education. Doing gymnastics isn't going to hurt your eye health. Doing oral language exercises, that's not going to hurt your eye health. It's pretty obvious. It's going to be anything to do with close focus. And I think especially reading, because it's not just close focus, say like sewing or art might be. You're having to track as well. But anyway, back to the article. We suspect it's reading and spending more time indoors, and I would agree with her that both have something to do with this. And she says every year of education completed increases the expected amount of short-sightedness